I'm Samantha Anderson, co-founder of 41 Orange, a digital marketing agency here in San Diego. And today I'm going to talk to you about a collaborative strategy of customer service in social media. So back in the dark ages, before the internet, your customers had a limited number of venues to talk about your brand. Maybe they called the 1-800 number, perhaps even wrote a letter. Today, however, with the advent of social media, your customers have an unlimited number of possibilities to talk about your brand. And boy, are they talking. Every second, 6,000 tweets are sent on Twitter. Every day, 157 million people log on to Facebook in North America alone. To date, 90 million reviews have been posted on Yelp. The odds are your customers are talking about an experience they've had with your brand or product. So I ask you this. Are your teams really listening, or better yet, responding to every complaint? Do they have a plan to cope with the fact that your customers are now 100% responsible for your reputation online? I first came up with this theory about combining customer service, social media, and public relations when I was working in an agency with Fortune 500 companies. The companies that are going to be dominating their verticals in the next decade are the ones that are going to be combining that, social media, customer service, and public relations, in providing a holistic customer service experience. And this is why. Your customer experience has never been more important to your bottom line. Last year, Gartner reported that 89% of businesses expect to compete on the basis of customer experience alone by 2016. That's next year. The companies that are going to be successful in the future are the ones that are going to be paying attention to how they talk to their customers one-on-one in social media. And the companies that are not doing this already are paying the consequences. Let's talk about an example, Comcast. Last year, sounds like some of you have heard of this. Yeah, Comcast announced earlier this year that they're bulking up their presence on Facebook and Twitter after a string of very public customer service catastrophes. You may have actually heard of some of these stories. It first started last year, July 2014, when an 18-minute phone call recording of the customer service call from hell started making its rounds on the internet. Next, in two separate occasions, a frustrated customer service representative changed the name of two customers. First to A-Hole Brown, and then to Super B. Bauer, who was just a 63-year-old woman having issues with her cable. And then, most recently, Comcast canceled service calls to Chicago's South Side, stating a rise in violent crimes. This caused a local priest to post and complain on social media. And let me tell you something. When you get a priest to say, "Oh, hell no," you know you've got an issue. Yeah. His posts were retweeted thousands of times. But don't think this can only happen to Comcast. A study conducted by American Express found that 42% of customers will share a positive social care experience online, while 53% will share a negative experience. And this number is even higher for B2B. A study conducted by Zendesk found that 89% of customers will share a positive experience with someone else, while 98% will share a negative experience. So, what did Comcast do? They announced that they were hiring 40 new social care specialists to join their existing team of 20. Now, these specialists will be able to do everything from troubleshooting to scheduling appointments, all through social media. That sounds like a better experience already, doesn't it? But think about how much money Comcast could have saved if they had gotten their public relations, customer service, and social media departments together to talk about how they could support their customers before there was an issue. Let's talk about how that can happen. First, we'll start with some assumptions. In the customer service ecosystem, public relations is responsible for communicating with the media. Their goal is reaching your customers with a specific message. Customer service is responsible for support. So they're troubleshooting, doing refunds, etc. Their goal is solving problems for your customers. And then there's social media, which obviously handles communication through social media. They are engaging your customers to incite brand loyalty through building a relationship. These three departments all have one thing in common. They are all responsible for communicating with your customers. That is why it is crucial for the PR, social, and customer service to be involved in a hybrid strategy to approaching customer service through social media. Now, this hybrid team, let's call them, can take three main actions in social media to improve your customer service. The first action, which actually sounds like a very simple one, is just reducing response time. But this is the biggest issue in social customer service. Customers who reach out to a brand want a very quick response to their question. In fact, customers that reach out on Twitter want a response from the brand within 1 hour. We as brands are failing at this. 53% of questions that are asked on Twitter go completely unanswered. And this lack of response can lead to a 15% increase in churn rate for existing customers. So, if response time is an issue, consider divvying up the responsibility within that hybrid team. San Diego Gas and Electric, for example, is really great at the art of social customer service. Their customer communication team handles Facebook, while their customer contact center handles Twitter, and also supports the communication team on Facebook. Now, this clearly works for them, as I myself have tweeted them on several occasions, and have always gotten a response back within an hour. Now, the next option is for this hybrid team to get together and create a response protocol. So this is basically compiling a list of frequently asked questions and anticipated questions, and created templated answers for those. So while customer service and social media may come to the table with those questions, public relations can help with the responses. Now, this is presumably what Comcast has done. They have cleaned up their responses quite a bit in the last year after their public crises. But if you're looking at this, the last couple months, the tweets that have been going to Comcast and their affiliates have still been getting quite a lag time in response. Most tweets are getting 9 to 24 hours response time, which is still very far from ideal. So the second action this hybrid team can take is working on how they react to social media together. Like most wildfires, issues in social media tend to spread and get out of control very quickly. So that's why social media needs to have their eyes to the ground watching for any sparks. And as soon as a spark occurs, they need to bring in customer service and PR so that they can together put out the flames. But this also works in other directions as well. Customer service could come to the table with a frequently asked question, for example, and bring in social media and public relations to communicate the issue to cut down on the number of incoming inquiries. Likewise, public relations can go to social media and customer service and say, hey, we have an issue during an outside crisis, such as a natural disaster, or an internal crisis, such as a scandal. I'll give you an example. I have a client through 41 Orange who is a restaurant group in Southern California. Their clients, like most restaurant clients, always go to Yelp to complain. So my social media team responds to reviews that are 3 stars and below, usually also offering an incentive to come back into the store, like a dessert voucher. But we also take it a step further. We contact the store manager, in this case our customer service friend, to share the feedback from the review. If an issue is popping up more than once, we know that it's something that other people are probably recognizing, but just not bringing to our attention. So by dealing with the issue at the store level, we can provide better customer service right off the bat and prevent a complaint from even hitting online in the first place. Now, the third action that this hybrid team can take is thinking proactively on how to prevent social media fires from even happening. This really requires a high level of collaboration and communication between the team. You've got to have social media, customer service, and public relations looking out for each other. So in the event that there's a controversial marketing campaign about to launch, or there's some big service changes about to take place, this team needs to get together and talk about how they can respond to upset customers, or better yet, how to squash out resistance altogether. Here's a really good example. A good friend of mine heads up social media at an e-commerce corporation here in town. Her marketing department, like most marketing departments in the holidays, are under a lot of stress to increase sales. So one of her recent tactics was taking out a radio ad on a very controversial show. They know that this guy is going to move units for them, but they also know that his show is very controversial. It's very polarizing. Some people are going to love it, while other customers are absolutely going to hate it and might head to social media to voice their complaints. So in preparation for that launch, she got together with PR and customer service, and they talked about a way that they could respond to upset customers. But they also took it a step further and not only came up with a unified message, they also decided that that week, during the ad run, they would also host contests and giveaways on the brand's social media channels to pump up positivity and push down negativity. In doing this, they not only prepared to answer any complaints that came their way, but they also were able to curb the issue from becoming a PR crisis in the first place. So this hybrid strategy to customer service and social media can really work for any organization. Whether you have dedicated departments or just a couple people, this can work. It's about getting people with different skills and knowledge in a room together to create a holistic customer service experience through social media. This hybrid team is going to be most effective when they can reduce response time, work on reacting quickly to social media fires together, and think proactively on how they can prevent social media fires from even happening. If they can do that, they will win the hearts and minds of your customers. Consider this. Customers who encounter a positive social care experience are 3 times more likely to recommend a brand. So the better your customer service, the more people are going to be recommending your brand, and the better off your business will be. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions, I invite you to email me or find me on social media or pull me aside during the happy hour. Happy to talk. Thank you.
Thank you.